Hey everybody, let me see if I'm live on here. Welcome in to the people that come in the chat, to the people that listen back. Please hit that like button so I know that other people are listening, even though I really don't ever check that. I don't know. Hi to all of silent viewers that come in and listen. Hopefully one day you'll feel okay coming in and actual chat to chat. Somebody new needs to come in here. We need somebody new chatting along with us. So don't be scared. You see, we're all nice to each other and stuff. So today's Tell Me Your Secret Day. I don't know if I'll tell a secret. I don't know if I really have a secret, but I was looking through my titles and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this? What am I going to title it? So I titled it that because tell me your, what was it? Come tell me that something you never told anybody did pretty good. So I was seeing if it would do good like this. I don't know. Trying new things, trying to experiment and see what happens. My back is still trying to take me out. No matter what I do, it hurts. And I mean really, really hurts. Not like a light type of pain. So they got me kind of down more than usual. But I hope it stops. That's the only thing I do is hope it goes away. Um, yeah, so let's see who comes in tonight, if anybody. Oh yeah, let me do this. Oh, chat. There we go. Like that made any difference, but I think for the most part, the nasally part of this dry sinus thing is gone. It's just like in the throat type stuff. Where it's dry, still nothing really coming up, so nothing I could do about it. Hopefully, the next few days I'll start talking like myself. I think tonight I just feel more down, so I don't know, there's more of a heaviness to my voice. I hate it. I could hear it, and it's driving me crazy. I just want my voice back to normal, even though I couldn't listen to it before. I just want it back to normal. So yeah. Anybody gonna spill some secrets tonight? Or is everybody scared? We'll see. So far, nothing. Crickets. Anything else we're gonna talk about in this chat today? Can't think of any subjects. I don't know. Alright. Hopefully I don't have to end up blocking this person, because what does that mean? Um, we'll see if we can block from the laptop tonight. Let's see, can I? Yes, I can. That's nice. I just can't see hidden stuff, I guess. I didn't go live yesterday just because, like I said, I'm trying out this not going live every night. Maybe I don't need to do it. It's really, really hard to think of things to come up with when it is live every night. You see, tonight I really don't have much. Um, but I didn't want to do it 2 nights in a row and not show up. Maybe this thing just really isn't working out. Like, might not be worth keeping or doing. I don't know anymore. I think the segment parts out of it and stuff for me, so I don't know. I don't want to drag something on that I don't feel like the best about. Hi, Zachary? Is it Zachary? I don't know if I said it right. I thought it seemed more foreign than that, but then I said, oh, so it's not Zachary. Well, if you're not a troll, maybe you'll tell me how it sounds so I can say it right. But that looks like Zachary. Zakari? Zakari. Maybe you think it's an easy word to pronounce, but oh, Zakari. Hi, Zakari. Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't know. This really might have come to its end. I had fun, you know, everyone gets it wrong, but that's okay, even at the airport. Yeah, I was thinking, like, it just, how much it sounds like, well, looks like Zachary, but I know Zachary. I thought it was just like if somebody did fancy, but then I'm like, wait, there's Zakari too, so. Um, let's see if that's going with something normal, not trollish, where it says, hey, check it out. So I'm checking out something I don't know what it means or how to read it. Oh, that's cool. Well, you might know what it means and stuff. I don't. What does it mean? Yeah, hopefully some of the usual people hop in here. I don't know why I'm having such a. I'm just. Eh. Oh, okay, that's your name. Yeah, that's pretty cool. How old are you? Um, smiley face. No, I doubt you're that old, but since you're not over 18, I'm gonna have to take you off here. This chat's for 18 and over. But I doubt you're that young, but I know you're not as old enough to be in this channel, so see you later. Well, see ya. Don't know about the later part. You know, I'm still trying to dress different names that come in here because you eventually, like I said, want a little bigger crowd or whatever. And it just gets more trollish as it goes, so I don't know. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. When you know when you're done with something, when you feel like you're done with something. Yeah. I think there would be more ideas or something coming up here. I'm sorry for the people that like this, but I don't like it anymore. I don't like waiting. I don't like trolls coming in. The first 15 minutes is like the first 15 minutes turn into something else, but it's just stupid people coming in being dumb. I try to make this something. I don't know why I thought it was becoming something. Defeat. Guess I have to acknowledge defeat in a way. Dang. Oh well. So I'll give myself, I guess so. I don't know, keep on saying I'm done for 15 more minutes. Or should I just sit in silence? Probably delete this one too and just be like, I'm not doing these anymore. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Yeah. I'm sorry to the silent listeners that listen and like hearing the talk every night and stuff, but it's too much for me to come on here and wait like 20, 30 minutes for somebody and then wait like hour for somebody else. Like, that means it's not doing good, regardless of if I see like, people are either lurking or, that can't chat, which I don't mind people, the silent viewers, but, it's not enough in the chat. It's not working out. Um, I've tried this for, I think, well, I gotta go back, but it was a lot of videos. I guess looking at my videos, got it like, no, this isn't working. I'll still do my videos whenever I'm able, whenever my body will do anything. But this is too crazy. And I know the chat's not frozen, just know there's not anybody coming in here. It's weird, I'll get the lights up real quick, but yet no, not too much, but still nobody says nothing. Why? And I know the chat's not frozen, it's just nobody in here. There we go. Just making sure the chat's not frozen. Alright, I'm gonna wait till 20 minutes. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Floor? 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 Is it just Floor? Mm, so far, what was that? 5 trolls and 0 subscribers. Nice. Makes me feel great. Why don't you try it? See how well you do. Instead of coming on and fucking with other people. Can we see yours? Doesn't look too good in the picture. Just using a kid's picture to hide behind stuff. Not the greatest thing to do. So we can't see your face either. My face is up at least. Not hiding behind somebody else's. Just to try to go trolling people. Anything else? Moved on? Somebody come and talk about seeing faces, but yet they hide their own. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, this has been the first. Well, at least it took a little while to be a fail night. This has been the first fail night. Just been all trolls tonight. Um, nice. Feels great. Not really. I don't care about what the trolls said or whatever. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is out of the few, just the people that I have or whatever, I could go. This has been almost 20 minutes and no one. That's what bothers me. The trolls, what they say, please. That doesn't, like I said, that doesn't get under my skin because they're being stupid and they can't even look at themselves and say any good stuff to themselves. So I'm not worried about that. But hey, Winter Moon. But I'm just talking about the usual. It's just not turning into anything. Hey, how was your day? My day was painful still because my back's still out. How are you doing? I was just saying I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore. Um, at night because it's just too much to The beginning of the live, it turns into, while I'm waiting for people, just turns into trolls waiting, so today was 20 minutes of trolls, so I just don't think, I think I'm done doing this night thing. Oh, you're in pain too. I'm sorry you're in pain. How was it navigating the weather? Did it get too bad? I know certain people do, but nothing's changing as far as like anybody new coming in or anything like that. And like I said, I don't want to be always 20, 30 minutes like waiting for people. That doesn't feel good. It was not fun traveling in this mess. So the snow got pretty bad over there. I think it snowed here, but not like too bad. But everybody's been a troll so far, so maybe notifications did not get out. But still, I've been consistent with between 1 and 2. So I don't know. I don't know. Might be asleep. Might be in other lives. Um, but yeah, like I said, I've been trying for a long time. It's just nothing changing. So I don't know. I felt discouraged before I started, but then see, we have people that are just being stupid tonight. A little too overboard. Like I said, stupid people aren't like, ooh, they're not affecting me. It's annoying because they see it more than like the people that are supposed to enjoy my channel. Like, what's up with that? That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird that it had to have gotten pushed out to a certain point because um it's weird when it gets pushed out and it makes me mad because when it is getting pushed out, if there were more people in here chatting, then there would be some people coming and actually chatting, not just stupid people like that. But because I don't have enough of a crowd of the normal um regulars, then we're always going to get those people when it does get pushed out because they're just seeing it like it's nothing, you know. Hey, sweetums. So that's the only reason why I get frustrated. I'm not frustrated with the stupid stuff they're saying. That I don't care. That's just stupid stuff they're saying. I just get frustrated that it's most people that come in now. Um, wait a minute. Wait a second. Let's see what was going on. Um, Hunter said, "Thank God you are here." I just, like I said, I feel like I came to the conclusion tonight that I don't think I'm gonna be doing these and just doing these anymore because there's not enough of consistent people coming in, and I gotta deal with like too many trolls in the beginning. Like I said, what trolls are saying doesn't bother me. That part doesn't bother me. It's just a part that I'm spending 20 minutes at the beginning deleting idiots, you know? And I just feel like by this time, if there are people that are enjoying this and it's then there just would be people in here, enough to keep it going, not me waiting like 20 minutes or so. So I felt discouraged sort of when just because of the whole thing, because I was looking at the numbers with the video shows and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is really doing nothing. Yeah, it gotta show some type of growth. I just can't be I can't be at a standstill with it. So it's like, even though people are watching and the numbers are going up a little bit, I think people are watching because they're lurking for certain reasons. That's why they watch it. I know there's silent viewers that watch it, and I appreciate that. But the ones that are just lurking to see if something's going to be said about somewhere else and all that type of crap. So I just feel like if it was successful, and like I said, I didn't need to be big. I need to be little, but it's just like, I'm not going to just spend my day pushing through all this pain and stuff just to fight 25 minutes of trolls until somebody shows up or whatever. I already tried that tool. They give you a tool like that, and it just says to do what I'm doing. That what I'm doing is great. Use titles like ghost this and that, and tell me your secret and all that other stuff. I do that stuff. It just doesn't work. Like I said, I think this today it's getting in more, but the last couple of times I was on, as far as people like trying to view it. But if we're not talking about something when people are viewing it, then it's not going to go nowhere, because it's been going up to 20, been going up to 25 people, but then they're not seeing or hearing anything because it takes so long for people to get in here that they go away and don't say shit. They leave likes, some of them, but I don't have to wait as long to get like 10 likes or whatever, but still nobody is saying anything. like you say, tell me your secret. Has anybody told a secret? No. Like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, I thought the analytics would give me some new ideas or whatever, but they're just basically saying I'm doing what's working right now, and it's like, really, this is working. So that was the whole AI, whatever thing they have helping YouTube that says, it's supposed to like teach you stuff and help you out a little bit. But that's all it came up with. It's like makeup titles, snack titles, secrets, all that stuff. That's all it did. The stuff I was already doing. Believe me, I had my notepad to see if there was something new, but it just wasn't there. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. What secrets did you have in mind? Any secret? I don't know. I was thinking, do I have a secret? Even. Do you guys feel you have secrets that you want to tell or whatever? I don't think I'm like a keeping secrets type person. But I just thought, since the tell me what's on your mind did better than the rest of them, same thing basically. Tell me your secrets. I pretty much laid myself open to you guys. Oh, yeah. My secrets are other secrets I don't tell and protect those people. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not good secrets to tell. It might be a phase. It might be a day, whatever, where I feel like this. But if it starts going on for each live and stuff, I know that it's just something I have to stop. I think today I felt it the most intensely because today was the first time I had to really wait that long for anybody to come on. And usually, if I do have to wait that long, it's not. Well, I haven't had to before. And then when I when it happened, there was mad trolls. Yeah, discouraged. So like I understand that people need sleep and stuff like that, or but I thought, like I said, there were some night owls and everything. There are a lot of night owls. People come through. You see, like I said, the numbers go up and down. So there are people awake. It's just that I guess I'm not. The interest is not there. Yeah, I can see how annoying it would be just sitting with trolls for half an hour. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I know people like seeing faces, looking at them, talking to them and stuff, but I'll always be like, this is my downtime of the day. That's why I was like, well, let me do something, and it's something that I'm not going to be on camera for. I'm not going to be on camera laying in bed like some people do and showing their three chins and shit. I just will not do that. Um, I've seen some, yeah, but that's what I said. That's what I was just saying. I think people like people looking at them and talking or whatever. But I'm not gonna be sitting up at 1 o'clock in the morning until sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, because it's to this part of the days are all days painful, but these are the parts that I try to say. Try to meditate a little bit, try to get the pain down enough to try to eventually fall asleep. And for me, if I had to be up on the camera, that wouldn't be relaxing or whatever. So I knew it was a chance that, there was a big fail on it, but I just wanted to do it. I didn't want to not do it. I wanted to give it a try because it's been on my mind for so long. And I was like I said, I was gonna find my people, but there's not enough. But yeah, there are some people that do this. There were people that do this before YouTube put it where you could turn off your screen. They would just sit in the dark. But it's not. I don't think like it's a popular thing or whatever. I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't need it to be big. You know. But I don't know. No, I didn't look into that. When I was just looking up lives and stuff, I was just seeing if people were there and they were doing it. Not what they were really. Most of the time, though, it was like a lot of people drinking or playing music where it wouldn't stay up. So I think people like that, whether you're on video or not. But in a way, it didn't. In a way, it doesn't matter because what my channel is going to be around is like general talk and then the runes and the tarots and stuff like that. And so, of course we talk about snacks and food and stuff like that. But I wasn't gonna turn my channel into something just because it brought popularity. I just wanted it to be. I think that too. I mean, I didn't want it to be maybe our topic is too heavy and serious, and I didn't want it to be like that all the time. I didn't want to withhold something if somebody was feeling something. I didn't want anybody to come in here and they're feeling like they need to say something. I want that always to be a thing. Um, but maybe it did turn into, like, I think we were too, I guess, too sexual, or whatever. I think it was a lot of things, but that's unfortunately, it's like, oh, you got to dull down your shit so that people want to be on it and stuff. And I'm just like, that's not me either. That's why I said it's not just, I don't want to have to change who I am just because people don't want to listen. So I just have to face the fact that people don't want to listen. So I won't do this anymore. I'm not going to go and be this fake person, you know, and not talk about things if I want to talk about them, or not hear people talk about what they need to talk about. I don't want to be that fake person. So I can't generate the numbers because I'm not that fake person. I'll never be that fake person. That's not, like I said, that's not what I set out to be. Um, so that's why I said I'd rather just be in my quiet zone like I usually am. I'll be in my damn self, even if it's with nobody. But yeah, if I would have to change it too much, then it's just not worth it. There might be a time, a frame, or not a time frame, but an era one time in my life that actually feels like this shit is normal or something, but maybe it's not. If you could choose the topics and the direction of the nightly topics, ideally, what would you choose? For me, like I said, a lot of our stuff I've enjoyed. You know, um, I wouldn't change what we talk about. I would. That's the thing. I wouldn't change what we talk about. I just wish there were more people that were more open and not afraid to show themselves and be themselves. You're not even showing yourself really. It's names on it. It's names. So people don't even have to show themselves. Just be themselves. That shouldn't be a problem. And I'll always preach that it shouldn't be a problem to show who you are, because all the assholes in the world get to, you know. So why can't, like, the more people that their lives are dark and they don't have the happiest things to say, but they're still here. It's just like, so I don't know. Like I said, I can't change what I'm interested in for like YouTube and whatever. Because what I'm interested in is, like I said, the ghost things, the ruins of tarots, the even, like I said, the depression and the anxiety, the loss people feel. Those are things that have always been part of my channel, and that's why it slowed down in the first place. I thought because my channel wasn't monetized that maybe YouTube wouldn't have so much restriction. But now that I see my channel is restricted more than I've seen any other channel that I've modded on. And it's insane how much of restriction it is. This channel just won't be going anywhere. And maybe next time, if I have the strength to do this again or try this again, if it ever comes around, I'll just do it on a different channel and see how fair they make that. Yeah, it's crazy how many things get hidden. Yeah, so um, like tonight, even, I don't know. I think what Winter Moon said, idiots or something, talking about the trolls that came in here. I also they hit idiots, which, okay, maybe that's okay, but yeah, I'm thinking these days are coming to an end. Um, I'm not gonna quit my channel altogether. I'm just hope when I when my body lets me stop suffering so much, I can still do my videos here and there, like I've been doing. I just started this so it wouldn't be so much space in between the videos and just more private and personal, I guess. I've seen so many people say so much worse on other channels. I know, that's why I said it's not fair to for them to monitor me so badly. When did you feel like you were getting traction here? There's been traction. It's just it's I'm saying the track everything's increased as far as the watch time and the watch hours and stuff because basically it just boils down to the watch hours, right? My watch hours are higher than they ever been. So those aren't like the analytic things are increasing. You know, like even subscribers are increasing a little bit. It's not that. It's not. It's because, like I said, people are listening to a certain extent more than you guys would see behind. You know, because you don't see behind the numbers. What I'm saying is, for it to be a flow, a continuous flow, for that maybe when the chat does go up to 20 some people or whatever, we need a group of people talking about something. You know, that's the part. So the numbers and everything are going up. I wouldn't feel discouraged if I just look at the numbers. What discourages me is me sitting here for, like I said, 20, 30 minutes with just trolls coming in. You know, what discourages me is always if people are coming in here, what the people don't do in other chats, mostly ever other chats, where it's like, okay, I'm not in this chat because I'm in this chat or this chat. It's like, well, stuff like that discourages me. You know, it's like if you're gonna be here, just like be here, and if you're gonna go away, just go away and come back. Like, don't say you're interested in another chat, stuff like that, because people don't do that in other chats for some reason. It's comfortable here, so certain things like that discourage me. I feel like I'm being tried in a way, and it's like I don't know. It's getting under my skin. So, oh, you said Looney Tunes. Yeah, they blocked that. Yeah, the trolls ran because there's people actually talking to me that they know they're not going to have empty space and that they could keep on talking. When there's only one person, they could keep on talking. When there's nobody talking, they love to see their shit come up and over again. So now there's two people talking where they're filling up the space more. So they're not going to come and talking shit so often. Um, and they had that. See, Sweetums, what did you say in that was wrong? So you said so it would be easier on you if we came in right away. Yeah, that's look at anybody that starts out their stuff. They're not just saying, "Hey, blah blah blah" to nothing. They wait until they see someone. They're like, "Hey," then you could it's way easier. And then, like I said, the trolls aren't looking at you like, oh damn, there's not anybody in here. But then, like I said, if it's people needing sleep, people need fucking sleep. I don't want to take people's sleep from them. I'd rather just, like I said, go and end this and just have like my normal video things, which I haven't been able to do because I've been too sick. This has been this has been something this has been the only possible thing I could do, period, with my health. This way. So if I have to admit defeat, I have to admit defeat. Um, yes, that's pretty much it. I'm not talking about tonight. I'll continue tonight through the night and stuff, but um, I don't know about any other nights anymore. So I'm sorry for you guys, that it helps, but you gotta think about it on my end of things, The not coming on every night makes it worse. I didn't come on yesterday, so it just makes it worse if I'm not on every night. Then it makes less people come in that do come in usually because they're not looking out for me. So, and that's the thing. If I stick to a specific schedule, I feel cursed when I do stuff like that because it feels like something in my health makes it on that day that it's not going to be available. It's just horrible. Just like when I just started over again with YouTube, how my health's been doing these horrible things that it never did before just because I'm trying something new. And I don't know how to explain it. It feels like I'm really cursed, whatever, just I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, they award it, they push it out more. And then like I said, people get used to a everyday person way more than you think. Way more than you think. Just a schedule is. I know that I've gotten used to people that I started to watch just because they were every day. And then when they stopped being every day, it's like I sort of looked at them a certain way. I'm like, dang, why did I even like this person in the first place? You know why? Because they were every day. That's the thing. They were every day. Yeah, it will definitely be mental health. But you can't talk about that on YouTube. Yeah, I think everything they took away that you used to be able to talk about. Everything that, you could talk about, they took away. I can't talk about makeup when makeup is more visual. They don't allow anything. You can't say anything unless you're talking about, oh, my life is so wonderful and has changed for the best and blah, 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 blah. Anything that's opposite that you can't talk about. So if you want to come on here and be phony and be like, yes, this is turned around and I'm healed and all that stuff, anything other than that is just you're not supposed to say. You can't talk about anything that affects your health. You can't talk about anything in the world that affects what you're thinking. You just can't talk about anything. It's just ridiculous. Believe me, I've been thinking about this stuff and it's like, what could I do? What could I do? And it's like you really can't do anything. Being real is something I can't dilute and I can't dilute anymore. I can't. I'll be going backwards if I go on this journey, and I've been going on this journey basically to save my damn life from all this hellish illness. And I think, well, I'm going to help others that are dealing with illnesses and loss and stuff. Like, just I can't be anything other than that. I always had to mask who I was, and um, not that's just it. I always had to mask who I was, and I haven't been on here at night and in a way that has helped, but it's just over now. Before I joined your channel, what did you talk about with Gina, Jesse, Winter? It would be the same. Before you joined, though, you joined when I started doing night ones. Before that, it was more video format where I was up talking about snacks and stuff. But I still had real stuff in there too. But the video format where you could see me was always about snacking on something. You joined right about the time where I started doing the late night lives. Before that, I didn't do them. I'm about to go back to see when I started doing them. See my YouTube. And these lives actually do better than um my video for me showing myself. These lives do better. So that's why I said it's kind of really fucking confusing to me. Um no, I dang, it's still been in, let me see. Is this a lie? So I've been doing this for like a little over a month, yeah. And I said I would give myself a month before I decided if I was going to do it or not. So it's been only a little over a month that I've been doing the late nights. And I think I've only skipped 3 nights so far. So, um, but yeah, these do better than the ones where I'm showing myself. um, oh yeah. No, no, that was just the beginning of it. I think tonight was just a slow night because tomorrow is Monday after a really long holiday weekend. That's not long. No, like I said, it's not just tonight that I just feel like this. It's been the start of almost every video the last couple of videos. Because like I said, there's only been about if a person comes in, there's only been one person for an hour. That's a long time to only have one person. You see this live, it was Winter Moon came in like around the 25-minute mark. So there's Winter Moon, and then you came in, and look, it's almost an hour where there's only been 2 people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I was waiting for the ones that would come in here and there that got a little bit more constant. I think we scared off a few people with the dang purple panty crap, you know? But it's like, look how much laughter we had with that. But I think we scared off people. So, yeah, I don't know. So it just shouldn't take this long after. And like I said, it's like, yeah, a month doesn't seem like a long time, but um, I have to feel encouraged to keep on going, to keep on wanting to do it. And if I hit that wall, I just hit that wall. But yeah, that's what somebody did have fun with that, but it scared off a couple of people. You know, I think people now, some people just listen and don't even say anything. You know, so. But you see, that's like me being myself, talking about stuff I want to talk about, and it's just not picked up by the general people, I guess. No, I think Sweet'em scared away Craig. No, but I think if he heard that talk, us talking about that too, he would have left anyway. Would you want to start a new book club with? Um, I don't. I mean, I think I would want to read that book, but the thing is, the only people that want to read books are me, you, and Jesse. And I don't know. I think Jesse said I don't know if she can read another book by next month. Like, can get another one. But she was saying after the first one, she has to wait a while. So I don't know what a while is for her to get another one. So it's like if only about half of the people are wanting to read. Um, my My computer did the, what's it called? Can you guys hear me? Is my voice okay? So if no, not most people in the chat want to do the books, I don't know. Because I saw the buffering on my computer. Anytime that does it, it usually means my phone is not coming across clear, but it is. So yeah, we got to have a few more people jump on the book club if we want to do that. Especially if it's something like that, because they might not want to listen to that, you know. Did you finish the rest of the documentary or whatever it's called, Sweetums? I mean, there really comes a point where life in general has to step in and be like, "Oh, I gave you a little break here. Here, look at this." You know, like it does for a lot of people, instead of just the opposite. I just bought a grief workbook if you guys want to share it and we can work through it or something. Oh, you finished the documentary? So what did you think about the fact that um I'll say Philip because that last name I'll ever get right, but that he was like talking about people should have a chance no matter what condition they're in and stuff. And he was literally holding back from his love because of his health. What did you think about that? Because that's how I feel in a way. I don't have a love or whatever, but that's how I feel in a way where people shouldn't give up, you know, on love in general. But it's like I've given up on love in general. And then people really shouldn't feel like they're less than if they do have a chronic illness and all that stuff. But it's like, well, I feel like I'm less than because I have chronic illnesses and I can't hardly do anything. So I found it, I was definitely, it was relatable for me where he could just basically preach a lot of stuff, but um, you think it was hypocritical? I don't think, I think he really did not understand what he was doing because he, you know, at the end he said, I'm going to call her or whatever. But I understand when that feels like to feel like you're not enough, like you can't offer enough to someone. Um, you know, to have it be like a good relationship or a healthy relationship because of your health, you know. But yeah, it was interesting for the most part. And for grief, I don't mind if people, if you want to talk about grief or whatever. I think for me, a lot of mine, um, I think I don't have such a challenge with grief. Sometimes I feel like, why does it feel more intense at this time? But in general, I think I got that down just from all my losses. That's what I wanted to bring up, but I didn't want to be insulting or controversial because we're feminists. But what if all our problems would be solved if we had a men's? Oh, I don't think that for sure. That's why I always, like I said, I don't know if you heard me say it before, but I always say anybody should take a year when they're past when they're past the year of their frontal lobe connection. Um, so that's usually around 20, you know, no later than 25 or 26. Sometimes it's a little later for people. But when you're past your frontal lobe connection, I think everybody will benefit from at least a year, no less than a year, of the disconnection of people, period, that they have to do everything on their own and then learn all these things on your own to bring it into a relationship. Of course, it's going to be easier in some aspects with if you're in a relationship with a man or a woman because you're going to have a partner, you know. But I just feel like that year or so is going to teach you to be a partner to yourself, and that's going to contribute being around somebody else, you know. Um, like if we were partnered up, we would still be here talking about our grief. But yeah, yeah, I would. I've always, unless, like I said, I don't know about a good partner. I don't know about a partner that's trying to be real and kind. Because usually people that suffer to a certain extent usually end up with somebody that likes that and just wants to use that for their benefit. There's not very many people out there that want to bring somebody up. You know, I don't want to say anymore because I just don't think it was there in the first place. Um, but I know for me, I've been alone the majority of my life, and I don't. That's not what I feel is deficient in my life. You know, mine is the pain and the suffering I go through every single day in this body. Um, it's worse in it, and, you know, like I said, that's my problem. It's not that I don't have anybody. I sort of conquered the not having anybody a long time ago. So I maybe, and like I said, I think the average person thinks they need that person. They need a person to be okay, but I don't think that. Would it be nice? Yes. Does it have to be? No. It's not. For me, it's not necessary. I think about money. Money would change so many things. A person? No. But like I said, I know a lot of people think differently. If you could envision a perfect day, what would it be without this damn pain? That's without this pain, being able to move around so I could play with my grandbaby, you know, so I could cook a good dinner for my daughter. You know, those are the things I like to do. Um I don't need much more than that, you know. I already lived 50 years of my life. It's like I don't need a whole bunch of things, you know. I'm a type of person that would be okay with only going out like 2 times a month or something like that. Other than that, I just want my home. Like I want a home that's, you know, just it's not all it's just like built in a certain way that I have to live. Just certain things like that. Not where you wake up one day and your porch is gone just by somebody else's decision, shit like that. But day without pain and with it doesn't even have to be perfect mobility. Shit, if my stuff went down by 25% even, I would still be able to do more, you know. Yeah, that's what seems so unfair if you just want one tiny win. That's what I'm saying. If you could push as hard as you want, you could manifest as hard as you want. You could try to just you could do everything in those intentions like the next person's doing, and that doesn't mean you get it. And I've really never gotten it. Like, you know, I could be doing the same amount that the next person's doing, and it just comes up to fate or whatever, and it's like I never get that part. You know, so that's what makes me mad at times because I've seen people get way more than me than has done way less than me. So it's really not about manifestation. That doesn't work for all people. I'm sure there's an amount of painkillers that will help, but do I want to be on something that could make me like? You gotta think about with painkillers, they contribute to one. Most of them have Tylenol or whatever in it, so your kidney functions are. It's you're gonna start having kidney problems. Two, if you want to not have dementia or in your life, if you're trying to avoid that, a bunch of painkillers isn't going to help. So they do more harm just because, yeah, it would be nice to be without pain, but then what am I going to be 5, 10 years from now? Am I going to remember my damn name that I hate? Am I going to remember my daughter, my grandbaby? That takes away from that stuff. Um, so it's like I take enough that might still do that damage. I don't know. Manifesting is bullshit because, like I said, you could have 10 people that do the same thing that manifest the same way. Those 10 people aren't getting all that they're manifesting or even close to it. Maybe one or two people will get it, and those two people are like, oh, it worked. No, bitch. Life just gave you that. Life has to give people something just like you have to give life something. The same damn thing. And for some reason, my life, what life gives me back, has not been pleasant. Hardly ever. So I get sick of it at points, to the point, especially when I get into these things where every move I make, every time I have to stretch my arm out or something, I have to make sure it doesn't pull at my back. Every time I move, I got to make sure I'm not settling my back where it's doing more damage. Like, when I'm every inch, I have to remember everything so I won't cause myself horrible, horrible pain. Uh, doesn't feel good. It just has me thinking about everything. And it's not something I'm just not going to talk about because it's not acceptable for YouTube. So, like I said, I have to admit defeat, I think. Doesn't mean it will be tonight. Like I said, I think I'll wait until I catch everybody that has been coming in here on here to say that I'm not doing it anymore. Then maybe then. What do you think of the three aspects of reality when he says you just have to accept the pain, uncertainty, and constant work? Will always be a part of life, but that I think that's the truth. But the truth is that pain is not pain. Some people's pain is a headache once a month or once a year. So even though pain is something in a lot of people's life, they don't have to feel it very often. They really don't have to feel uncertainty because they're not in pain and they'll be able to have a steady job so they know what's coming in. So some of that's like, well, it's not equal opportunity, it's not equal levels of stuff, so but that is always going to be something that everybody's gonna have to work on, in constant work or whatever. Like that's something if you stop, you're not trying. Yeah, but even if you didn't mean chronic pain, to say that, and people that don't deal with chronic pain or don't know somebody that deal with chronic pain, when you say that sort of in that way, that has somebody that looks at that and says, "Oh, somebody in chronic pain, they're not pushing hard enough. They should be at this certain way." It's sort of, I don't know how to explain it, how to speak so simply like that. Um, I get it, but there's just so much more to it, though. Yeah, bouts of pain. But yeah, that's always going to be a part of life. But like I said, some people have it way lighter than others. Was there anything that stood out for you with him? Yeah, I know. Yeah. even though he's probably in constant pain all the time. Did you say that you're gonna get the book, or you got the book, or was the movie enough? Oh, really? I got so much out of that movie. Hmm. I guess for me it was more intense because no therapist even came close to saying what he said, so the potency of non attachment. What was the gist of that? Just so I could see. Oh, yes, Chat GPT to summarize it. I mean, it's potency of non attachment. I'm trying to think of the basically saying it's strong to be don't attach to shit or people. He said you have to imagine something you're attached to and you're grasping at it like you're hanging from a branch of a tree and you let it go and you say, I'm willing to lose everything. Yeah, I've never, like I said, for me, I'm like that in a lot of ways, but I've lost everything so many times in my life, especially when I was younger, when I didn't have control over it. I think I cling on to things, materialistic things, more because I've always lost it over and over and over and over and over again. So I don't have that willing part. Maybe the people that haven't ever had it happen or something. But me, I know I'm attached a little too much to things. Not people, things. Like I'm always like, oh, the fire happened. What I have to grab? It feels like I would be trying to grab half my room out of here. But more power to people that could live that minimalistic life. Because I think it is good in a way when you could do that. I just think I have too much trauma off of it. Basically, you can't be attached to anything or anyone, and even though you're willing to pursue it, you're also willing to lose it, all of it, and you can pursue something, but you're okay. And I think if people were to get like that, I think it would be a much better place to live in because people aren't doing, it would be people not doing the stupidest things to get something or not, you know, doing all this stuff to stay in a relationship. It's like life would be easier, but I know, like I said, I know for me, it's not people, but it's things that I'm like I'm not willing to let go. But I think that would be make a much better life for everybody. I just personally can't do it. Like people can't let people go. I can't let things go. Like I said, I've already lost so many things over and over and over. Before I was 17, like 17, I got on my own. But before 17, we probably moved like 20 times. And in those 20 times, most of the time, I lost all my stuff. And I didn't hardly have stuff to begin with, you know? So I know what that feels like losing it. To give it away or let it go freely, I don't know. Like I said, I just know I've experienced loss several times of everything, starting from scratch. I think the only things I've ever kept, like from when I was little, that never got, like, it's always been in my possession, has been since I was little, like this little necklace since I was like 5. I think that's the only thing that I've had for the longest. Is that it? I think that's it. That extended from childhood to adulthood. I think it's only been that necklace. Oh, then there's like a poem book or something like that, but not very much. That part was the only part where I knew it wouldn't help me. I lived like a minimalist, but I've never had food scarcity. Oh, okay. If you're willing to read it from your phone, I can send you the link. Yeah, I know I can't read stuff from my phone. Especially since I'm already dealing with I know this optic garage is starting up. I just hope it doesn't get too bad. We moved a lot because my dad was um when people, like I said, they mention weed to a certain level and they don't think weed is an addiction like crack or anything else, but it was to him. Like he smoked like it was crack, and he was alcoholic. So he ran up he spent the money on that instead of rent. So all the time we were getting evicted, and most of the times it was illegal evictions where we just would come home and they would have everything boarded up and we would, lose it. A couple of times there have been fires. Um, just lovely stuff like that. Basically, just not my dad not paying rent. We moved a lot, but not as much as you. And I always allowed to bring my books. Yeah, I didn't have books when I was growing up. Besides, like I said, we had like the encyclopedias and the National Geographic and stuff. But like I said, that wasn't something that was taught to us. Like you could learn from this or anything like that. They were just there. Um, but yeah. And then later on, when it was my choice to move, I think I have only moved probably like once I've been on my own. I probably moved only to like run away from people. I don't think I moved just to move ever. Besides like moving to place where I am now, like certain things with like that. But yeah, it sucks. But I usually downsize what I have, like going through all the stuff I have. Just haven't been able to do that the last 2 years. Stuff still sitting in totes and stuff. Yeah, and I have my books in the storage. I don't know what they're gonna be looking like because you know how they get. I don't know where silverfish or whatever come from that destroy books, but I'm sure if they've been sitting there for almost 7 years now, or maybe over 7 years. Was not even ever opened the storage unit. I'm sure everything in there probably destroyed. and we're just paying a bunch of money a month to keep it there, which is shit. But yeah, I did not have a very pleasant upbringing, so I know what loss is over and over again. I have those illustrated children classic that you see at Dollar Store. Oh, you're talking about you have it from that long ago? That's cool. Have you ever read or seen Angela Ashes? It sounds like a little like your childhood. Angela Ashes. Let me see. No, I don't think I've seen it or read. I know I didn't read it before. So it's old. Is it? Oh no, it's 1990. I don't know. I don't know if I ever watched it because it's older. Just don't remember it. Let's see if it was on something to stream, but I don't think so. Where to stream? No, I don't think it's on anything for free. Is it on Netflix? Wait, I don't know. I don't think it was. They acted like it was until I clicked it. Um, I went through that when my dad died, and also with my brother George, where my mother told her with all of her stuff. I eliminated both after losing so much money. Yeah, storages are stressful. They're basically half the damn rent almost. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I was reading some of it, see what it was about. But yeah, people don't understand. And plus, like, I never talk about my parents in a bad way because I didn't, like I said, I might have been had frustration or whatever, but how I treated them was never in a way where what they did to us made, it didn't change how I treated them. So I think people think I have like an okay childhood because I never say, oh, my dad's this and that, and because I just don't do that. I have his Japanese flute, the one he gave his last breath to a meditation class and fell forward. Oh no. Wow. Yeah, I want the storage to go. It's like I could start putting that money out to pay off some of these credit card debts, but right now it's just not. It's because when we did the storage, it had been an apartment I lived in for like 11 years or whatever. So some people were moving in, moving out through those times. So all their stuff went in there too. And we had people that were professional movers, so they knew how to like Tetris all the stuff in there. Where if a normal person goes and looks, you're not going to get anything. So my daughter hasn't been able to go back in there and look at or get any of her stuff because heavy things are Tetris on top of other stuff, and until we basically have to pay people to go and just throw away most of the stuff, it's just not going to happen. So it's just been sitting there. I know most of my stuff that's in there, I've lived with it all this time. It could just be thrown away, most of it. But I hope my books aren't damaged. That's the main thing. I hope my books aren't damaged. There's a lot of money with the books that were in there. Um, what kinds of poetic you have the thing that once? Oh yeah, that's kind of poetic. Yeah, I said what's kind of. That's kind of poetic, but also sadder than a bitch. I didn't think it was a scam or a joke. He was a prankster, so I was shocked. I had to go ID his body, then freaked me out. Oh, you thought it was a joke. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, you did what he wanted. That's all that matters. Shoot, this one now, it started out at like freaking, when it started out, it was, I think, 70 something. Now it's over 300. But yeah, Winter Moon, as long as you followed what he wanted, nobody else matters. Your brother had a Jewish graveside funeral. I don't even know what that means. I guess it's just in the graveyard. But if that's what he wanted and the responsibility was all yours, you did the right thing. Exactly. But you guys see tonight, it's only been the three of us. Usually, we got at least two or three more people in here. It doesn't have to be for the whole duration, but like I said, I think it's because I skipped last night. So when you're not nightly, you lose out. I tried. The only thing I did not follow for my dad was I was supposed to sprinkle my dad's ashes in all of his favorite places, and I never did. Well, you still have the ashes, right? Oh, okay. I don't I don't think he's mad. I don't think um I don't think our loved ones that passed on actually are sitting there like, "Oh, she didn't do this. I'm mad." Well, like I think if anything there's a bigger understanding of what we have to live with in this world to ones that have passed on. And I think there's understanding there. When we moved from California, we cleared out our storage and realized all of it was pretty much junk. Yep, that's why I wish. But like I said, it's just been my daughter's been like something. So things have been back to back to back with her. So it's like going to school, getting a job, having a baby, like all that stuff has been these last couple of years. So it's kind of hard to. And then people that you find that you even going through companies like moving people and stuff, it's like you pay a lot of money and they end up hiring fiends, and it's like I could get a fiend off the street and do this. Then why am I paying so much money? So you don't even get what you pay for, and most of your stuff ends up broken and stuff like that or missing. That's what happened to a lot of my shit. So even though this might be all junk, I know that my daughter has some stuff in there that she needs to get. So it's not like we could just hire anybody. So, but there, like I said, there has to be time for it. And it definitely needs to be done for sure. That will be a relief when I'm not thinking about storage every month. Okay, I thought they're supposed to bury the ashes. That's what I'm saying. You still have his ashes. I think people are too hard on what they have to do for their loved ones when they pass and stuff. Your loved ones aren't worrying about those small little details. Believe me, they just aren't. I hope the snow doesn't come in too bad so I could order groceries today well, yeah, technically today and tomorrow. I read this book by Anne Lamott, and she had to spread her dad's ashes over some lake and the wind blew and she ate some of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's not just her dad's, it's whoever's ashes were cremated on that day, pretty much. Some of them, little bits and pieces. Yuck. Yuck. Who would think they were fine like sand? If you see, have you ever seen the ashes? If you see ashes, it's literal bone crushed up. I don't know who would think they were like sand. Yeah, that's what it is. Yuck. I'm sure a lot of people have done that too. Because a lot of people, the wind, every time I see somebody pouring them, the wind usually blows. I've never even taken, yeah, me, not with I'm the only person that had my dad's ashes. Everybody else that got cremated, there was more people around, so my sister used to always open it up, and I used to always be devastated, like, please leave that alone. But she was always interested in stuff like that, so that's how I knew, but I wish I didn't know. Yeah. Can you guys watch? I wish I had videos of my loved ones, but um, I could see photos and stuff. It makes me sad, but I'm glad I could look at them. Also, is your box very heavy? Mine is so heavy. Yeah, my dad's box is heavy. Yeah, think about it. Bones are heavy. I don't know how the other ones. I don't think I ever picked up the other ones, but I know his are. Yeah, it might be helpful to Winter. Oh my gosh, that's your mom really got some serious issues. Really? What the heck? On the Haunted Mansion ride? That's why I tell my daughter about my ashes. I was like, I don't care where they go, really. They could be thrown in the trash because I don't want her to be attached to something that's not me anymore. That's why I try to make it like that. But she still says, because I always wanted to live in Hawaii, she still says she's gonna make a trip out to Hawaii and do it. But he's already gone, yeah. That's what I'm saying. She really got some serious, serious issues. But we already knew that, just, I guess, the insanity of everything. But why? I don't understand. So they want to be turned into ghosts. uh, oh my gosh, that's even worse, Winter. Yeah. Uh, I would have been as smart as and been like, well, then call the police and see if they can have him removed. uh, oh my gosh. I think it's for people who love Disney. Yeah, but to pick that is that's a weird thing. I'm sorry if I started ignoring the hi to people, but too many trolls today for me to um say hi to randoms. So I'm sorry if you guys come in here and say hi and I don't say anything. I got tested too much at the beginning. I had to be tossed somewhere I like to be tossed in the Pacific Ocean. But for me, it was just like I was just saying in my part is I literally don't really care because I know we aren't our bodies anymore once we move on. But I just don't want her to feel like she's obligated in any way to feel like she needs to do anything for me after I pass on. I want the attachment to all things to be gone. Just so she could deal with the fact that I am gone. So that's why I say it. If you guys do that, just make sure when you put it up, make sure once the other person gets it, you guys just erase it. Yeah. Did you guys get notifications? The ones that did come in, you got notified, or you just came in because it was around that time? Hey Larry, welcome in. Okay, but you got notified. Just making sure you guys got notified. So it's not a notifying thing that made tonight so slow. How you been, Larry? Okay, you got the email thing handled, you guys? I was looking at something. I forgot what I was looking at. What the heck was I looking for? Yeah, no, it's not better. It's not better, Larry. So yeah, I hope that book helps you guys some. Okay, you got notified too. Surprised Gina didn't pop up. I don't have just do your YouTube notification. I don't know. One does. I don't. I think all the rest. I don't have all notifications on except for two channels. Because I don't want to be like, oh, I got an alarm. Let me hop on. So all the rest is I'll come by it. When I look on YouTube. Because I don't want to just like I said, run to YouTube at any moment. I try to complete whatever task I have for the day and stuff without interruption because that's way more important if I'm in the middle of trying to do something than jumping on YouTube. And plus, the people that I watch usually come on in the hours that I'm chilling anyway. Well, that's probably in your. You probably have to go into your personal notifications. Like, sometimes you have to turn them on inside your phone, even. And it's not just YouTube thing. Because I know, like, for Instagram or whatever, like, I'll turn that off, then I'll still have to go into, like, my phone and say I don't want notification with sound, because that's definitely one that I don't want with sound. So I just get the icons whenever I look at my phone. Yeah, but I also want you're talking about you're sleeping through alarms and stuff. That means you need sleep. That's why I said if we had a few more people in it, it wouldn't just be up to like one or two people. Say we had 10 people that were regulars. It wouldn't have to be up to like one or two people to have to be on time. You know? But it's just been so hard. And then Sherry usually comes in, but she's on a new medication that makes her tired, so she's been sleeping. So I don't want you guys to lose sleep over it. I just thought eventually, more people would come in. But that would be nobody. That's just would be people faking the funk. Now, physical issues is different, but I think everybody, regardless if they're diagnosed or not, has mental issues. But no, not physical. There's a lot of people that are fortunate to not have those issues. But then what would they be sticking around for? All we do is talk about this stuff. Or at least the happy seeming people in the daytime lives. Because I was about to say, look, if people go with the daytime lives for you, they'll think like you're the happiest person in the world. An army of happy night owls. uh, like I said, I hope this is something where I just feel like maybe the pain is just making me feel like this is worthless or whatever. And it might change if this thing ever lightens up a little bit. But I just don't know, and I just have to be honest. If you guys don't see me anymore, that's why. I know, I was shocked too, Sweetums. But like I said, I'm glad that you could be honest. I don't want you coming on, pretending to be something that you don't feel. That's why when you always say things, I know you hear me laughing, but I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm laughing because I'm like, what, sweet? I'm just saying this. It's not. But your situation to me is not funny at all. I rather find more people that are my people than people that don't know what this stuff feels like. Do you have an impression that my life was that? Yeah, I didn't know about all the only loss that I knew about was your mom. I didn't know about all the other losses or anything like that. So I just know, when you lost your mom or whatever, how you went off the chats and stuff for a while. So that was the only thing that I saw. And then other than that, it's just always, usually you try to, turn a frown upside down type of thing and stuff like that. So, but you shouldn't have to hide it. That's the thing. I don't want people to come on here and hide themselves. If I don't want to hide myself, I don't want other people to come on hiding themselves. That's defeating what I'm trying to create. Yeah. So you wouldn't even say anything about your mom, huh? And I don't think I've ever noticed Buggy in any chats. Like besides that one, that I'm like, oh, I think that's when I pretty much started paying more attention to chats. So you weren't gonna say anything, yeah. But it's like I don't want people to come in and not be able to express how they're feeling. Um, well, like I said, we've talked about a lot of things through this. It's not just like dark stuff. And then the runes and tarot isn't dark stuff. So It's always telling us we got to be okay even if we're not okay, no matter how frustrating it is. I think that's why I learned from the rune in the first place, because it's not telling me I'm not going to suffer stuff. It's like, you're going to suffer, but you got to take it, you know? Yeah, it was fun. I wish more people would want to do it, and also that it's more accessible. Like, for me, I can't do the computer reading off the phone, whatever type thing. I definitely have to do the actual book. Like I said, especially now that my eyes started doing the the thing that usually comes when optic neuritis happens is like how the beginning of it happens. So especially since I got one eye out the game right now, I'm really not about to try to mess up the other with looking at computer screens too much. With this, I'm looking at my computer screen that has a special filter thing on it that makes things way more dim and stuff. And I'm not reading too much, even though it seems like you read a lot through the lives. It's not that much. Did the eye condition come about because of the undiagnosed? Yes, that's what it is. If you look up optic neuritis, it comes with usually for it to be different times. Like, they say some random people get it here and there, but then they'll never get it again. When you got it the way I did, which was basically one eye had it, and then after that I healed a little bit, the other eye had it. And now I don't know if this is the first or second eye, because I tend to block that stuff out. But when you go under all the tests for optic neuritis and stuff, they always say, oh, it's from MS. So, and MS is something that, like I said, has not been diagnosed yet. And the doctors keep on saying, well, it's going to come up one day because I have all the symptoms, basically. But, so yeah, for me, that's a scary thing too. I think even though my back causes me so much pain where when I move, I literally have to stop myself from throwing up from the pain. My eye is worse to me because it's so hard to even get, that's so hard to get diagnosed to it. Also, the treatment for it. Once you got the treatment for it once, they really don't want to do it again. So it's like you have to suffer even longer and wonder if you're going to go blind or something. No, they can't treat it like MS because for insurances won't pay for the medicine unless you have a diagnosis and the medicine is expensive. If it was up to the neurologist, they would treat it, but unfortunately, you know they need the medicine and that costs too much, and the insurance was like, nope, you have to have official diagnoses about it. So that's why I said it shouldn't be that way. If somebody has enough in their chart and, enough stuff in their chart, it should be they may able to try a medicine and see if it actually works for them. But not for this, not for MS. Actual lesion being somewhere. MS, you get lesions on your spine, your neck, lesions in your brain. Um, so they either want to find a lesion or however many, and then the spinal tap could show it too, I guess. And so either through spinal tap or MRI. And usually, person like I'm supposed to get an MRI every 4 months, but like I said, that became impossible. Like this for 7 years. As I said, it just totally stopped my life. I was used to certain type of pain and living with it, which it sucked too, but it wasn't this bad. I could still do everything that I needed to do: cook, clean, go shopping for myself, all that stuff. This, go to my appointments, everything. This just stopped me dead in my tracks. And even when it stopped me, I still pushed through for like 2 years to try to find answers till I was like, this stuff is doing more damage to my daily life, and I still haven't had no answers. But those 2 years, that has a whole bunch of shit in my chart trying to find answers. Yeah. It's too much for one person to have. That's why I said I've been saying this is just too much at this point. And then everybody, it's not like I have somebody that has the time to help me with certain things in my day and stuff that I literally need help with. So everything's going down the drain. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight has been, I don't know, crap. um, when Winter asked what the other day, what makes you wake up every day and keep pushing, what did you say? Because for me, it is try because I know so many other people feel like I feel. So for me, showing up and just trying to make it something different, even though it doesn't, it's not. It's just like creating laughter or just something to chat with. That sort of takes a detour of you all instead of people just sitting there thinking about how miserable their life is. I just wanted to set an example that regardless of how miserable it is, you can still laugh. You could still try to do something. You could still have a hobby. You know, um, I don't know. I just wanted to make a difference, but I just don't feel like there's a difference being made. I just feel like it's become more drama based or something. There are a lot of people with undiagnosed MS. There's a lot of people that suffer. They have the same damn weird things that you don't hear normal people say, and but then I see more of them with having their family members are diagnosed with MS though, so they have MS in their history. Unfortunately, like I said, my parents and I don't even know about their parents before or whatever. We don't have that. They stopped getting checked out at a certain time because their whole lives were hospitals in certain other ways too. So when they got older, they were done with hospitals. So I don't even know what they had. But don't you also have no, not diagnosed. I only have that both my parents stop it. They weren't able to be as physically. They something stopped them, like both of them, where they got bedridden. And it was mainly like in their 40s, and they were used to doing everything, and then it just stopped. So, but like I said, at that time in their life, they weren't going to go to the doctor and see what was wrong. They were done with doctors. I know there's an aunt that I have that I'm on the racist side of my family. Well, they're both racist, I think, but on that side where she has some debilitating condition, I just don't know what it's called. I've asked, she's had that her whole life. I asked people to try to figure out and see what it is, but I still haven't had an answer come back yet. So I don't know what that is, but Yeah, we don't know the history of hardly anybody. So not as far as I know. Well, like I said, I don't know very far. I don't know the conditions of hardly anybody in my family besides my siblings, and nobody has it in my siblings. If MS runs in families, I'm sure there are genetic markers. Well, that's why I don't understand why, like you said, how they didn't go back and see, like, if there's actual tests that they could do in labs for that instead of just asking. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that, you know? Because I went through every other damn test but that one. Shoot. But yeah, if that's another thing. If my eye does go dark like the other times, I'm definitely um not doing anything. That puts me to the point where I'm in the darkness. I don't text. I don't do anything because stuff looks way too wacky and it depresses me too much. But the primary isn't the one that orders that stuff. It will be the neurologist, and so that means going through the primary enough to say, okay, yeah, go see the neurologist again, waiting for the neurologist, seeing if they even care enough to do anything, which I highly doubt they do. They'll say, no, do the MRI again, because that's what they want. And I would say, no, I can't do the MRI again. And they'll be like, okay, bye. So, um, until I'm ready, until like I feel like I'm mentally ready to face the MRI and face getting an allergic reaction because they don't care that I'm allergic to the dye. Until I'm willing to that for that to happen again, I know it's useless. They won't care about anything else but getting that MRI because I've done it so many times before. And this is the first time I would actually be saying no. Any other time they asked, I did it. So it's very complicated especially since I've tried so much. It wasn't like I didn't try. I tried for years to get answers. Now I just feel like, I don't know. I gotta be willing to face getting stuck in an MRI machine again and having my head held down in a cage. And, um, yes, I'm allergic to contrast. They don't, they do it with and without contrast, but they said that the lesions usually only pop up if you have it with the contrast. Yeah, I am completely roadblocked down every path. I did everything I possibly can for myself. When I did everything I can for myself, then I had caseworkers doing all the tests, all the appointments all over again with one caseworker, with two caseworkers, with three caseworkers. All the tests all over again. Then, I did it with my daughter, all the tests all over again. So it was like four times. After that, I'm like, okay, what the hell else could I do? But basically save whatever health that, I had just for doing my little things that I could do in the house instead of going out and being, heavy. And like I said, when you're 6'3" and you have three types of arthritis and all this other stuff going on, there aren't cars that, are where you're not ripping your joints out of place just getting in the car because they're so low to the ground. So I just start paying for Ubers, and the Ubers are expensive. So, and then a lot of those are still low to the ground, even though you're paying for Uber XL. So it's just a lot. Now I can't do shit because I can't even leave the house because I'm trapped because there's no damn porch. No, they never found any lesions. It's been clear. I really don't want them to find any. You don't want to have it. Or is there another test like that? Mm, not where you could, not where they have to find lesions. There's nothing else. Because it's on the brain. They scan the brain, the neck, and then the rest, like I said, is just um spinal tap. So the lesions go up more around the neck and head part, well, brain. So yeah, believe me, I did everything a person could possibly do 3 times over to try to get answers, and it just didn't. It's just not there. That's why I said even when I go into hospital now, they'll see all the scans and stuff that I took before, and they'll see that there's no lesions, and they'll still say, like I said, I'll leave the last emergency room I had. It said relapse in MS, even though they saw the scans were clear. So it's just been a total nightmare. But I know this with my back is an arthritis flare up because I was holding my the baby, not my baby, grandbaby. Um, I just can't ever walk with him, and I was walking with him, so which sucks. If there was a movie, there would be this one doctor who would go above and beyond and think of something so nobody else did, and I told you I had the doctors that tried to help me. They really tried to help me. It's just they say it's a mystery to them or whatever. No, my back's not improving at all. Um, that's what I'm saying. So I just have to increase the medicine I take, which I don't like doing. But I don't know. It just has me in not a good space. So I'm gonna go, you guys. Um, I can't. I honestly don't know if I'm coming back. If I choose to and like not do this anymore, I'll just put it on on the. We still got the community posts and stuff, so it won't be like I'll just disappear or whatever and not say anything. I'll definitely update the post. Now they call it just a post instead of community post. Yeah, I'm just sort of at a loss right now. I'll try to come back. I just don't want to guarantee that I'm going to come back. Gotta be honest. Thank you, Sweetums. So I hope I don't let you guys down by if I don't. Like I said, if my body ever lets me sit up and do what's it called? The videos where you see me, I'll still do those. I just don't know how probably who knows when's the next time I'll be able to do it. Winter reach out. Oh, you didn't get the email? Thank you, Sweetums and Winter Moon. But Winter Moon, you didn't get Sweetums. Oh yes, Winter Moon, you gotta email Sweetums so she'll have your email. I didn't see it either. They might have held it. Winter Moon. Just try it again. Oh, I didn't see yours either. So they might have. They just didn't show any of yours. Try to write it without the domain first. I mean, not like without like Gmail, whatever the heck that's called. Just try to write the first part. Yeah, nothing's even showing up being held. So they're just totally blocking that out, like not giving me a choice to put it up there. That's so weird. Okay, I see that. I'm right that. Wait, don't do the ad part yet, Sweetums. Winter Moon, put the. See that up there? Oh, well, sure, I did it. But do you get what that means, Winter Moon? So do yours like Sweetums did hers. Let Sweetums know when she could delete. Alright, let you guys let each other know when you guys could delete your stuff. Yeah, it's up there. Did you see Sweetums, Winter Moon? Alright, you guys could both delete yours then. You got it written down, Winter Moon? And you said you got Winter Moon's, Sweetums? I'll delete it if, just let me make sure Winter Moon got it. I mean, Sweetums got it. Okay. I think it's all. Yeah, so they don't even. Like, I didn't see none of that held. So YouTube just keeps some messages where you can't even see it. I deleted it, Winter Moon. No, just making sure nothing, double checking. So yeah, now we know, like I said, YouTube could hold chats without the host even knowing what the heck anybody said. Which is fine, but then the host gets blamed, when they don't see something, which is kind of sneaky of YouTube to do that. Um, alright, you guys, if I see you again, I'll see you again tomorrow between 1 and 2, like I said. If I don't, I don't. Sorry things didn't go as you hoped. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it's okay. It doesn't feel okay. It feels sad to me, but, I don't know what else to do at this point. But thank you guys for coming in and, always supporting my chat and stuff like that. And hope you guys have a good night.